Okay, this is Love Finds a Way. There's no reason I need
There
this.
you are. Ready to go?
I just got here. Can we talk? Why did you leave me alone?
Because that's what she does.
Can we go now?
Always leaves you. She left you in the beginning. She gets mad. She takes off. All right, void travel.
How come it's not working?
Let's ask Seeker. This all has to end, and I'd rather it was sooner than later.
I am doing my best, my love.
There's a spectral web here, but it's new. It's stronger, but I think I can do it.
Oh, is he there?
This'll only take a moment. See?
Well, throwing my weapons through your will is a little unsettling. The spell isn't working. I think she's
So
gone.
now we've learned fusion. Now those web things that you've encountered, there's one on the beach on the island, and then there's one in the basement of the old mill by the void when you're going after Lammy at the start of Inkwell that you can get through. Those are the two off the top of my head that you can use them on as well, that you can now finally get through. But then you have to be
Antea. The way
Antea.
through, like a thick web. Can't hide now.
Seeker! Why is there a letter from Deborah Comenius here?
And who's Grace? No way back to New Eden Town, and no Seeker either. Our only clue points to Kate Newsmith. Maybe she knows this Grace, and where to find her.
She draws well.
Well, can we draw this to a close? We need to talk to Kate.
How can she find anything in this mess?
We're wasting time. Let's go. No time to lose.
Okay, I'm going to take a hot second to spend these points now that we have fusion, and I'll be right back.
Aided by the Banishers, Captain Pennington survived the mutiny. Now they who remain must set old sins aside and build a future, with Pennington or without. Because the captain sees no brighter horizons behind the blackened clouds of his past.
I get the feeling folk are preparing to leave.
Still a roaming, are we?
Aye, still asking questions. I'm trying to track someone down, and I was hoping you could help me.
I'm busy. Find them yourself.
I'm not asking you to do anything. I just need information. I may have some to share in return. So, I found your name in an old letter. It was addressed to someone by the name of Grace. It was written by Deborah Comenius.
You just can't leave a scab unpicked, can you? Especially if it's not your own.
Deborah wrote of a cabin in the woods. Could this Grace person have found it?
I don't know. It was all a very long time ago. I had forgotten her.
Did Grace ask you for help?
No. Grace Pennington vanished. No one ever saw her again.
Grace Pennington? As in Captain Saul Pennington?
What happened to Grace?
I don't know that either. There had been strife with her father. Then she was gone. And the captain spoke of her no more.
Deborah wrote the letter in February 1688. When did Grace disappear?
Months later, Pennington accused Deborah of being a witch. In my recollection, that moment overshadows all others.
Could Grace have survived alone out here in the woods?
Possibly. But could she remain unseen? No. All thought she'd left New Eden. Gone west, perhaps into the wilds.
Does the name Seeker mean anything to you?
It sounds less a name than a calling, but neither mean anything to me. We done.
One more question. Did the school teacher keep a cabin in the woods?
Deborah spent much time walking the woods, trying to understand New Eden, she said. Now that you mention it, I remember a snowstorm. She spent 3 days in a hut not far from here. Southeast, across the drawbridge, along the path towards the mine. If it's still there.
It's time I asked you about Deborah Comenius.
If you tread carefully, I may even answer.
Why was Deborah's ghost so eager to see you punished?
Because I let her die without a word. Because I refused to share her fate. Because I failed her.
I'm sorry to ask it, but I must know. Did you have a hand in her arrest?
No. Captain Pennington was the first to accuse Deborah of witchcraft.
Why would he do that? Had he proof?
There was no proof because it was a lie. Thickskin believed it was personal to him.
How so?
She knew him a little. They'd hunt together. She said his anger at Deborah came from an older wound.
Did your sister take part in Deborah's execution?
If she had, would I have followed her? No. My sister was selfish as all hell, but she was no bigot. She removed me from the horror. Then she made me swear to bite my tongue and never speak of it. Thickskin never believed Deborah a witch. She told me to love who I loved, but counselled caution.
Twisted, but pragmatic. Thickskin always protected her sister.
Caution, indeed. I did nothing. As my love stood up to her persecutors, I did nothing. When I could bear it no longer, I hid my tears and looked away.
I too saw my beloved die for my failings.
Then you know. To speak of it is near unbearable.
Thank you for your time. Farewell, Kate Newsmith.
A goodbye to you too, Red McWraith. And whatever it is you seek, may you find it.
Okay. Nope, go the other way. Alright, we're going back down to the beast direction. But this is that fogged over area on the map that you weren't able to get to earlier. We're now finally going to be able to get in.
One less to worry about.
Symbols. The hut may be near. I sense magic. Could Seeker be here?
Okay, so this is where we are, the part that's been fogged over. There used to be a tree here blocking the path.
Faded with age. Not to know what it was for.
Okay, the first thing we're going to do is go into the cave, because there's an orb in here. You can hear it. Antea. Yeah, build those up.
Away with you!
Away with you. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's just the cabin.
This can't be a coincidence. Could Grace be Seeker? Dusty. Seeker hasn't been here for a long time.
Okay, there's another orb on the side of the cabin.
Anyone home?
Transcribed ritual of dissimulation.
More demonology. Unusual for a witch. These two schools of magic don't usually see eye to eye. Perhaps Lammy could help us with the spell.
Rough drawn map.
Deborah knew about this place.
Focus on the matter at hand, Red.
I am. Fine wardrobe for a youngster.
They're rags.
And they won't help us find her. Aye.
Draft of a letter. To Deborah. From Grace.
Quite the fall from grace.
That's not funny, and neither is this.
It's a little funny.
Fair enough.
Same circle as the one on the entrance. But I don't know the symbol. I don't know it, but I think Lammy might. Seeker drew this.
Frozen
Now
Veils.
I know. She's in the mountains.
That's the shelter.
In the mountains, behind a magic door. And the circle is, somehow, the key. We did well to come here. Now we know where she's hiding. Soon we'll be able to use the pond. All we need is the key to the dissimulation spell. And Lammy Haskell will help us with that.
Sure.
Whatever it is,
Okay,
out
so
with
this
it.
is kind of like a
No,
long
what I say is
run
worth
back,
listening to.
but I'll meet.
Only
I'm
when
gonna
it
put a
doesn't
cut
slow us
here,
down.
and I'll meet you guys.
You're
We're
in
gonna
an
go
awful
talk to
hurry.
Pennington.
We need
Because
to
I
get
left
this right.
him alive this
We
time. If
cannot
you
afford to fail.
sacrifice
fail if you
Pennington,
stop
you would
dragging
talk
your
to
feet.
Priest at this point.
The mood is heavy. What happened?
Okay, we're gonna ask Pennington about Grace. Is this new? No, it's about the archives.
What have you done with her, Islander? Drop the innocent look, son. I'm not buying. That mutinous varlet escapes her cell and you swan in here without a care in the world. You expect me to believe the two unrelated?
Is he looking for a new scapegoat? Already?
Answer the question, McGrath. Where is Ellen Priest?
Any a clue? I didn't even know she'd fled. Whatever she's doing, it's her own endeavour.
She cannot have escaped without help. Again, I smell the deep, dark stench of rebellion.
So dramatic. Should have been an actor.
All right, Captain. Settle down. Walk me through what happened.
I don't know what happened, not exactly.
You know, I
The
think
cell
this is actually
keys
the
have vanished
follow-up
and mutiny with them.
activity and not
Her
the love
character's
finds
one
a way
part
for
vinegar
it.
and the other
But
malaise.
we'll sit through it.
Who knows what bitter treason she now foments.
It's not like you don't deserve it.
All due respect, Sol, this is not my circus, and Mrs. Priest is not my clown. This is not Banisher business.
That we know of.
While she remains out there, flapping loose like an undone mainsail, there can be no trust in here. Find her, McGrath, and I shall believe you. Find her, and do what must be done.
What do you know of a young woman named Grace?
I don't know where you heard that name, Banisher. But you should not say it again.
It's important.
I sacrificed
Else I wouldn't
Bennington the
ask.
first time, and now I'm wishing I did it
Important
again,
or
because I
not,
don't like this guy at all.
You'll have no answer.
After all I've done, I rather think you owe me it.
The Four told you. That much is true. But the debt will be settled some other way.
I read the name on a letter. It was a very interesting missive. According to this letter, what happened to Grace was entirely your fault.
No! The fault was hers. She was stubborn.
Blame
The
Deborah
letter told
for it.
quite the tale. I'd like to hear your side of it.
I have heard tell, sir, of the contumacious Scots, and I did not hear wrong. You are indeed relentlessly, perversely, bloody-mindedly obstinate.
The letter was clear. You're to blame for what happened to her.
She has no one to blame but herself. I tried to prevent it. She would not listen. I hurt her. That, sir, is laughable. I worked hard to make up for her mistakes, so she would not pay the price for them.
Whatever you did seems to have made things worse.
I stood firm. That, sir, is what must be done, and that, sir, is what I do. I stand firm.
Why the mystery?
A stubborn and difficult child. Always quick to disobey. Especially when the orders were mine. Never understood her antagonism or hostility. A sheer bloody-minded antipathy. She didn't get it from her mother. Now I have no daughter, and it is all the better for all concerned.
Want to tell me what happened?
If you must know it, I sent her away. I exiled her.
Why? Why would you do that?
She left me with no choice. I caught her in an act of sin. I caught her reading, studying. Witchcraft, sir.
I love how the
I
men
killed
like
her
Haskell
studying
can read about it and it's
witchcraft.
considered demonology.
It
And
was
a
a book.
woman reads about
I
it,
don't
it's
know where it
considered
came
witchcraft
from.
and it's
Damned
bad.
if I could get rid of it, but she would not put it down. Not even after I forbade it.
Now, why does Lammy Haskell suddenly spring
Yeah,
to mind?
see?
And Deborah, too.
Though Deborah was innocent, you accused her of witchcraft. Do you deny it?
Deny it? I claim it. By law, she was no witch. But neither was she innocent. She was poison. A ruiner of children. She corrupted my grace. I am a much changed man with the intervening years. Looking back, with the benefit of experience, I was entirely right and would not change a thing.
If I came to learn your daughter survived, if I knew where she was...
No, I'd have nothing to say to her. For me and all who know me, Grace Pennington is long dead. Think what you will of me, I care not. I did what was necessary, and I'd do it again. And that is all there is to say.
Okay, so that is the follow-up activity we got at the same time.
He disowned her, but kept her portrait. Lovely man, really.
Alright, let's go talk to Lammy.
No governor, no meeting house. And it seems, no faith.
Does he do this for anyone else? Every time I come back here, he's right here walking into the window. But then you talk to him and you're automatically inside.
What can I do for you?
It's fine.
We found
It's
a
funny,
page
though.
ripped from a book. Here, do you recognize it?
Let me see. Is this from the Trismegistus riddles? Yes, it seems to be. Why would you bring me one mildewed page from an amusing but harmless little book?
Why would you fail to disclose that you'd given another ritual to another friend?
It was a long time ago. I said after Caleb I'd distribute no more rituals, and that's what I've done. Not done.
We know. But we're looking for Grace Pennington now, and we were hoping you'd help us find her.
Who?
Really, boy?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mistress Antea. You said Grace's name, and it is my reflex to protect her.
Ever heard of someone named Seeker?
Seeker? No. Sounds like a title, like my True Pursuer. This Seeker... Is she Grace? Is she alive? Do you know where she is?
We think she's Grace. We hope she's still alive. We're trying to find her.
We think she's hidden herself away behind your dissimulation spell.
Then you'll need to unravel it. Shouldn't be too difficult once you're armed with the salient facts.
When was the last time you saw Grace Pennington?
It had to be a few days after I brought her the cloaking ritual. When I returned to visit, the hut had disappeared. Which makes sense now that I think of it.
That's it? You never again tried to find your best friend, your only friend.
Well, you see, some weeks later, the first whispers of witchcraft started to fly about town. I kept my head down, and Grace was better off out of it. I was right. And I'm glad she escaped. Strange to think of her again after so long.
How does the ritual work?
It creates illusions so effective that they deceive even the keenest eye. There are more effective cloaking spells, but the Trismegistus riddles do have a simple elegance.
The short version, please, ending with how we break it.
Yes, of course. To achieve that, all you need is the caster's full name and the symbol used to make fast the illusion.
Grace Pennington and a triangle pointing downwards.
Well then, now all you need is a simple counterspell from the same book and... Oh my.
What now?
I'm afraid I left my copy in the Araloo. In the void.
That's just great. Just great.
Yes, but in my defence, once you've retrieved the book, dispelling Grace's illusion will be like a walk in the park. Comparatively speaking.
Thank you for your help.
Could you tell Grace that I'm still her friend? I'd be glad to see her again.
Once we found her, we'll be glad to tell her.
Okay, back to the old mill void entrance.
Go on then. Talk to me. Don't hold back.
You act as though all is well. As though I had not died.
Well, you hadn't
I'm
died,
dead.
really. It's temporary,
And
because
I'm
we're
not
bringing you
alright.
back.
I'm not alright at all, but you pretend not to see it. That makes me angry. And it makes me sad.
I never wanted that.
I know, but it still felt that way.
Okay, we're switch to Antea, so we can clear the web.
Have I mentioned how I know I am of you?
Go on.
Oh, there, corrupted weeds.
Okay, so we have one there. There's only 2 roots. Okay, pretty sure I was facing this way, Antea. Stop doing that. Make sure this is loaded. We're gonna stand where we can get all 3. And go.
Did I ever mention how good we are together?
Yeah. It's always good to hear.
Okay, down this hallway, we have to go down one more elevator. Okay, if you didn't get it when you were here before, during the inkwell, there's a collectible here. I believe it's over in this area. But I already picked it up, so it's already gone. And this is just optional. We're going to clear that web that we couldn't get when we were here earlier. I don't believe there's a lot here. Just like
The path is safe for now.
Always so reassuring.
Can always use crisp moss. Alright, there's going to be occasional pauses here while I check my notes because I got turned around. I usually don't get turned around in the void, but for whatever reason this time.
Look, I couldn't talk about it.
Couldn't talk about what?
You accused me of pretending not to see that you're dead.
That's how I feel, Red. You have to accept it.
I couldn't face your death. I admit that. Your death left me desolate. I knew in my heart that it should have been me. Then you came back. I snatched at the chance to undo what had been done. I don't wish to deny your pain. No. I'm just trying to deal with mine.
Wow. That's... I hadn't thought of it that way. Thank you for your honesty.
Okay, now it looks like you go that way, but it's a big old fake out, so don't go that way. Although it's not that big of a deal, it's just a dead-end rock, but still. Why do I not?
Braid! More fun!
Area of effect skills are so wonderful. Like, punching has an area of effect damage. Vanish, area of effect damage. Shooting, area of effect damage. They're so nice. Okay, we're in Lammy's room.
Our book isn't here.
Our book might be up there.
I might need some help.
I might be able to give it.
Make sure you look in the right way.
This looks like Lammy's stuff. Only more scattered.
Even with the void shifting, the book should be around here somewhere.
Trismegistus. It's the same as Liza P.
Got it.
Word.
That seemed a little too easy.
We have the symbol we need. Let's go back to the mountain and find her hiding place.
Did you hear that?
First things first, Red.
I'll get you eventually.
I have another in sight. Almost there. Move it. I can help. Get out of there.
Alright, now we can use fusion. Now that the other meter's full. Now we're gonna use it.
Shall we dance then?
L2, R2 at the same time.
Always.
Ask for help if you need it.
You're the one doing the fighting, Antea. Okay, so we got Scourge Accretion for that, which is nice. Time to move on. I feel like I should be over to the right, but really not. Where am I? Oh, that's right. Okay, so now we're at the cave at the start of the isolation chapter. absolutely nowhere near a fast travel spot at all. So I'm gonna just run us up there, and we'll just put a cut here because I just think that was just a stinky decision to put us so far away because now we have to run for like 2 minutes. So anyway, we'll be there in a hot second. Okay, we're at Frozen Vales. If you didn't get it before, there's an orb up here.
This is it. Seeker is behind this wall. Let the veil of unknowing be lifted. Let us see through the eyes of Grace Pennington.
Ceridian?
You're surprisingly slow, even for a banisher. You're late. Or early.
At last we find you.
Missed me that much, did you? You could have hurried. You always think you have more time, and suddenly you don't.
It wasn't in vain. We have come far and learned much.
I hope so. But don't think you have it all figured out. You're still banishers, after all.
We are indeed, Grace.
So, you know.
I know you're Pennington's daughter. Still, can I see the family resemblance?
In the end, neither could he.
It must have hurt.
The dear captain is many things, but he is a Puritan through and through. And I, his daughter, am a witch. I defied him. I sought forbidden knowledge and stepped beyond the boundaries. At the end of that most painful of journeys, Grace was dead. And Seeker was born. Yes, it hurt, but it was worth it. I accept it now. I accept it all. Ceridian has left a hollow, and I am called to fill it. I accept. I am ready for my role in this world. Are you ready for yours?
The time has come for us to go back to New Eden and face the nightmare.
Yes. Balance must be restored. You must face your fate and end the curse.
Ceridian said the only way back was through the void. But the pond seemed broken. We need your help.
Of course you do.
We're listening.
Remember Ceridian's words. If you were to defeat the nightmare, your hearts must be open to each other. No barriers. Your bond must be strong.
We've never been stronger.
This void breach is not like the others. This one leaks. This one sits at the rotten core of the entire region. You must leave whatever still burns in your hearts at the threshold. If you don't, the void will kill you.
Do you know where in New Eden Town the void shall lead us?
The trick is to focus on your happiest memories and let them take you there. At least that's how it's always worked for me.
We'll try.
And when at last you succeed, I too shall return to New Eden Town. I shall see you there.
So if you have any witchstone left, you can go ahead and buy some, especially if you want to like upgrade any last stuff. But right now we're going to go get a trophy.
With that, we'll take our leave.
bring peace to this troubled land and your troubled hearts, my friends. I know it's not easy to hear, especially when it's me saying it.
On the contrary.
Thank you, Seeker. We'll do our best.
Okay, so for the American Vampire Trophy... Oh, and by the way, here is another lost chest. For Mount Pleasant. It's the Ethereal Braid. Ensnare duration is increased by 30%, but ensnare cooldown is increased by 30%. Okay, so for the American Vampire Trophy, after talking to Seeker, we're going to come in here.
I like the new place a lot better than the old one.
I was a different person then.
The Vulkods of Roanoke. So I already have the trophy, so it's not going to pop, but if you read this, it'll give you the
useful
trophy.
What's that?
That is not your concern.
All right. All right, time to cross the void.
She's the custodian now. May she have all the wisdom of her mentor, and more.
I wish I'd have the wisdom of mine.
You're not as stupid as you sound. You'll be fine.
I don't know why I am still looting. Okay, so make a save here, because when they tell you this is point of no return, they mean it. This isn't like other open world games where you can continue to play after the game is done. Because I finished the game, and when I hit continue, I was not here. So make a save so that you can come back and finish any hauntings or anything like that.
That's a void breach, all right. Should we jump in?
Because they are serious. You will not be able to return even when your game is done. So it's really important that you make a save.
In the fields outside Havana, the air is thick and hot this time of year. The downpour lasts for days. I used to lie on the grass, face to the sky, and let the rain wash over me. I'd come home soaked through, smelling of salt and dirt, and drove my mother insane. I never thought I'd hear myself say this. But I miss it. I miss home.
What do you miss?
I miss our house. It was ever full. By day, the sick seeking my mother's cures. By night, our friends and neighbors for food and hot debate. We did not have much, but any who came hungry would be fed. My father was known for his ngombo. I miss it. And I miss the warm, clear sea. I don't know. I think Maybe it would be nice to go back. For a little while.
You told me you weren't one to put down roots.
Maybe I could with you. I think I'd like that.
I think I'd like that too.
Thank you. For standing by my side through it all. For everything. Into the fray then.
Always. What is it?
Baggage I may need to finally face. Let's press on.
Okay, so that's the end of Love Finds a Way.